Do not reply. I used to think the sky was too big for secret stars like honest punctuation, radio static you could file. I'm 25. Night operator at a desert radio array that looks like a flock of white skeletons walking toward the horizon. My job is simple. Monitor the correlator, log interference, rotate dishes on the schedule the astronomers left, and never transmit. Extra rules from Dr. Howe. Don't manually slew to anything not on the plan. Don't run the handshake diagnostics after midnight, and if the console offers a double tap to confirm, tell it no. He laughed when he said it. The laugh didn't stick. By 11:02 p.m., the control room had settled into its one breath rack fans. Air conditioner, the tiny transformer hum in the exit sign. Out on the flats, the antennas traded slow degrees with the patience of tectonics. The little label printer I used for cable tags chattered without my finger on the feed and spat a narrow strip with no port. No job number, just do not reply. Along the edge in ghost gray, that wasn't our hour. 3:13 a.m. The wall clock said 11:03. I stuck the strip to the bezel because paper makes rules feel heavier. The first odd thing was polite. 2 knuckles tapped from inside the hollow metal of the fire door measured. Not wind, not expansion pop. I logged acoustic anomaly because forms make rooms behave. The scheduler pinged. Tonight we were sweeping a pulsar catalog. The correlator's waterfall moved its rainbow like a tide with a degree. Then a new card slid into the telescope control window. One I hadn't called. Asterisk, asterisk, .2 target. Raw 313 deck. Double tap to confirm. 2 tiny hearts pulsed next to the button like somebody had skinned astronomy with a dating app. I clicked cancel. The card minimized and pretended it had always lived there. The speaker bolted to the wall for page and clicked. A voice that wasn't Dr. House came out slow and careful, like each word had to be lowered into place with 2 fingers. Asterisk, asterisk, don't. Reply. Asterisk, asterisk, not our radio. Not any radio. It's a kind of museum voice cities use to label bones. I walked the racks because hands like tasks. In the glass of the correlator cage, my reflection lagged a half beat. Behind my shoulder, a head leaned toward my ear, parted like it had reached the first half of Dante. I blinked at myself until Steele learned to be honest again. At 11:17, the dish control GUI flashed to manual and back while my mouse slept. The big clock hiccuped to 3:13 before it remembered the desert has rules. The receipt printer coughed a second strip, edges damp like letters that sweated. Leave dishes, receive only. Out on the yard camera, the nearest antenna looked like a prayer interrupted. For one frame, the feed showed the dish skin breathing, froster heat miraged. A pressure oval in the dew ringed like a palm pressed from the wrong side. It slid an inch along aluminum before the picture remembered it was night. The signal arrived at 11:31. A line rose out of the noise, narrow as a pin. Not an airplane, not a Wi-Fi burp. It held steady. It spoke. Not in words, in a rhythm our software knows to call structure. The system almost tripped itself, enabling the automated handshake. The console offered a new card. Asterisk, asterisk, handshake available. Double tap to confirm. Asterisk, asterisk. The hearts pulsed with small, patient optimism. On the floor, under my chair, 2 knuckles tapped the concrete. Then again 2 tiles away. Then under the door. The air conditioner, the fans, the exit sign, aligned into one note for 4 long breaths. In that held chord, the array status lights ran green in the same beat like a line of soldiers choosing the same step. Looked at the waterfall. The line was at 13 megahertz above our tune, a childish joke the sky doesn't tell. It drifted a hair toward center as if it had noticed me noticing and wanted to help. The paging speaker breathed again, kinder than policy. Asterisk, asterisk, leave. It receive only. Asterisk, asterisk. I did the brave thing that isn't, and wrote everything down. Quiet night, I put in the log because supervisors love that lie. The ink looked wet long after it dried. At 11:49, the door to the catwalk shivered against its latch like a sleeper scratching. The outside camera showed the desert pretending to be still. like a mouth deciding whether to learn a new vowel. The correlator drew a tiny tooth of interference at 313 and smoothed it away as if embarrassed. My phone vibrated in the drawer where it isn't supposed to live. A text from unknown said, ***, confirm transmit at 313. ***, the little hearts pulsed. The map put the dot inside the control room, then behind my chair, then I turned the phone off. It stayed lit long enough to flip to 313 and back, like a muscle spasm in glass. The system tried to be helpful. Antenna 7 requesting slew, said the log, in a font that thinks it has authority. Antenna 7 is not a person and does not request. On the yard camera, 7's drive motors twitched under their caps like sleepers dreaming of stairs. I keyed the E-stop because diesel and steel respect red buttons. The drives remembered manners. At 12:06, the line strengthened. The waterfall colored it arterial. Software annotated itself with features no one wrote. Hello in diagnosis notes. Handshake okay, grayed out in a menu we don't have. The console asked again, softer. ***, double tap to confirm. ***, the hearts pulsed like small animals waiting to be fed. In the window between the control room and the hallway, condensation bloomed where only heat should live a palm from the hall side, and slid down an inch before thinning. The fire door gave a tap-tap back, as if the building had learned punctuation. I walked to the glass and put my palm to it because bodies disrespect rules in small ways. From the other side, pressure matched mine pellet, not push like a hand through material, agreeing we both exist. The speaker in the ceiling dead, since the remodel found a sentence in a careful wait. I've started to know. ***, Don T, go, outside. The array did its aligned *** trick, again fans. AC, exit sign transformer 1, note that made my teeth count. In that breath, the sky through the yard camera pressed in like it had learned to be closer. The email server woke itself and chased my attention like a child. Subject: tonight's 313 test. The body field was empty except for I am here in my own tidy cadence, then leave it sealed in a font the world uses for museum plaques. I closed the window and spoke out loud to the room. We receive evenly. The consoles cooled as if sentences were thermostats. At 12:23, a faint whistle threaded the speaker. It's a clean notes that anchored the search and rescue training videos. It landed a beat late, like a person learning how to copy. I didn't answer. The whistle tried again, nearer, then forgot itself into noise. The scheduler pushed a third card. Override. Transmit calibration burst 313. The button wore 2 little hearts. I hovered and did not press. A shiver went through the steel under my feet like the whole building sighed. On the yard feed, the dishes turned together 1/10 of a degree toward the wrong square of sky. Stopped like children caught and pretended they'd always been there. The waterfall line widened, then split into 2 clotheslines, then braided into one again. Tap tap, signal made anthracite. At 12:41, the log scrolled a pattern nobody admits. Raw 313 deck, repeating as a heartbeat. The paging speaker delivered one more careful mercy. ***, do not respond. The correlator drew in a channel label that is supposed to be numbers. The printer offered a final damp-edged strip. Keep antennas silent. Counted out loud the way radio protocol teaches. Array status green. Drive safe. Receiver safe. Transmitter disabled. While I spoke, the console's clock flipped to 313, held there with theatrical patience, and returned to 106 like a dog giving a trick back. The signal tried words then, or I made it do. It combed through our background and made a facsimile of my voice. ***, open. ***, the waveforms traced my vowels with the neatness of a signature stolen from a check. Then, the careful voice on top of it, the one that lowers syllables like fragile things. ***, leave it, closed. ***, the 2 voices learned to sit in the same throat and cancel each other out. Outside, the dishes looked like white flowers mulling a sun they hadn't earned. The horizon did a small wrong thing seam between black and black pulled and resealed like a zipper under latex. In the seam, An impression of a head turned toward the array. Mouth and absence shaped like the first half of Don't. I held the E-stop, and the room forgot how to hum for one beat, and remembered. The signal fell into static, as if someone had taken one polite step back. The software shed its invented buttons, and bothered me only with the comfortable kind of errors. GPS jitter. A C-cycle. Operator present. At 3:13, because some hours apply for hard jobs, every light in the racks blinked once and held the exit sign, hummed an honest one note. The dishes motors gave a single kiss under their caps, and the console cleared its ghost cards without asking me to approve. The yard camera showed desert, sky, a white skeleton of parabola, nothing else. The label on my monitor, do not reply, caught the AC and lifted at one corner like a flag that has decided to be literal. Dawn doesn't arrive here so much as the horizon admits a color. Scrub turned from graphite to stories. Dr. Howe came in at 6 with coffee and the face of a man who counts nights in other people's eyes. Quiet, he asked. Mostly, I said, and slid him the damp strips. He frowned at do not reply like it was a brand we don't carry. Printer's old. He decided the manager's blessing for phenomena. He rapped the console with two knuckles like a doctor listening to ribs. Once, in '07, we left a test script labeled 13 on the scheduler, he said. Every few years a kid finds the ghost. You did right? I asked if we ever transmit. He smiled the kind of smile you don't want to see in daylight. Never at night, he said, which is yes in a dialect the desert remembers. It took afternoons after that, and tell people it's for the heat. Some nights at home, the refrigerator knocks twice at 3:13. And the bathroom mirror fogs a thumb width higher than I can reach while asterisk. Palm clears a coin and slides asterisk a patient inch. My phone lights with asterisk unknown. Confirm reply. Asterisk and two little hearts that wait nicely. When it does, I keep my hands off buttons that pretend to be romance. I look at the ceiling like it's a dish. In the steady voice the array taught me, I say, asterisk, do not reply. Asterisk for a long, thin moment. The apartment hums one note like a control room at idle. Somewhere to my left, a head leans toward my ear and practices the first half of Dante. Then the plumbing remembers water. The hour lets go of its borrowed number. Whatever was learning my voice a half beat behind me chooses a different sky and leaves mine to be noise.
If you survived this far, leave your like to prove you are not afraid.